My friend Maria's boyfriend hit her, so I made sure he got kicked out of the country. I got the call from her roommate late on a Tuesday. She was crying so hard I could barely understand her. I drove to the hospital and found Maria in the emergency room with a split lip and a dark bruise already forming under her eye. She was trying to act tough, but I could see her hands shaking. She told me Ben had gotten angry over something small. It started with yelling and ended with him pushing her into a wall. She didn't want to call the police. She just wanted to go home and pretend it didn't happen. I was really mad. I sat in the waiting room while they checked her for a concussion, thinking about Ben. He was in a few of my classes, a smug guy who always seemed to look down on everyone. Maria was so kind, and he treated her like she was nothing. I worked part-time in the university's records and admissions office. It was mostly filing and data entry, a boring student job, but it gave me access. I knew Ben was an international student on a visa. His whole life in the United States depended on him being an enrolled student in good standing. The next day at work, I waited until my supervisor went to a long lunch meeting. The office was quiet, just the hum of the old computers. I pulled up Ben's student file. His academic record was fine, but his financial account was what interested me. He had just paid his tuition for the semester, a wire transfer for $12,000 that had cleared the week before. I found the transaction record. With a few keystrokes, I changed the status of the payment from cleared to pending insufficient funds. Then I backdated it by 2 weeks. I knew our system was a bureaucratic nightmare. An alert like that would trigger an automatic hold on his account. A series of letters would be sent out, but they went to a campus P.O. box he probably never checked. The final deadline to pay tuition without being dropped from classes had passed 3 days ago. By the time he figured out what was wrong with his payment, it would be too late to fix. The system would automatically withdraw him from the university. A couple of weeks went by. Maria broke up with Ben over the phone. She said he was strangely distracted and angry about some mix-up with the school, which made it easier. Then, in our shared Sociology 101 lecture, it happened. We were in a huge tiered hall with about 200 other students. About halfway through the class, 2 people from the administration office came in with a campus security officer. They spoke quietly to the professor, who then pointed toward the back of the room. Straight at Ben, they walked up his row. The administrator said, "Benjamin Foster, you need to come with us." He looked confused and said, "What is this about?" The administrator said, "Your student status is under review. Please come with us now." He got angry and started to argue, but the security officer put a hand on his shoulder. They escorted him out of the lecture hall. Everyone stared. Maria just looked down at her desk, pale. I felt nothing except a cold sense of relief. I checked his file later that afternoon. His status was officially updated. Withdrawn, financial delinquency. His student visa was now void. I never told Maria what I did, but I've never once regretted it.